Everybody, we are back with Greench and Max. We had a lot of cool things that happened between episodes there, so we made level 44. And at level 44, we actually get our first version of the what they call the Beast Crack spell, so it gives us mana and health regen, which is going to be huge and pretty awesome. And that is sold here in Grobb, which makes it even easier for us. So I did go ahead and cleared out the inventory minus a couple of things. So we did head back into Lower Guck. Actually, first we headed to Upper Guck because I found out that the Shin Lord was spawning again. So we camped that for a little while. And hell yeah, we got lucky. And we got a Ghoulbane drop. So finally, we got the Ghoulbane drop from the Shin Lord. I probably showed it in the montage at the beginning of the video here before this recording. At least hopefully I did. So now we're on a mission to meet up with Minesweeper and do the turn-in for our viewer-driven quest that Minesweeper gave us to get a Ghoulbane. I believe this one's for a custom set of earrings, so which if you look at our gear, we do not have anything good in those slots, so I don't even think these have stats. Yeah, they're just decorative. I just left them in there because it fills the slot. So we'll get something awesome in those slots, and then, of course, further on that quest to kill all of the kings and lords of Guck, we'll be looking to get further into Lower Guck. It will take us quite a while. And get the blades. Actually, I guess the quest was to get the blades of the kings of Guck, not just to slay them. So we will get in there and we'll keep working towards that. But for now, we've got the first part done and we have Ghoulbane. Now, I did put it in the bank because I have a tendency to sell or destroy things when I get, especially if I'm playing and I get tired. I'll end up emptying it out of my inventory and not realizing I did it. So it's sitting in the bank. Once I can set up a time to meet up with Minesweeper, we'll get that sorted. I'll make sure I get it on video and we'll show the quest turn-in and completion. So that's super cool. So Ghoulbane in the bag. And I came out and I cleaned out all the inventory here, minus a few things. I have a couple weapons, so I can toss some Max's away. I can't remember if he has weapons right now, so I'll just keep those and give them to him. I picked up a couple of items, quest items in Innothule that I wasn't sure what they did, so I went ahead and looked them up. So the Mudwater Rune is for the Bard armor quest, for the Lambent armor quest, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy that. It doesn't sell for anything. And the Clump of Gorilla Hair is actually for a helm quest that's in Freeport, which I'm not going to go up and do either. It's not a good helm for us anyway, but I did look it up just to see, and it's not something we're going to do. So inventory's all cleaned up. I still need to cash out my money, and then we'll need to buy the spell, who is sold by, actually we can buy the spell right now. It's sold by Turkuz here, and it's spiritual. I think that's it. I think I clicked right on it. Spiritual Light. So Spiritual Light is our new spell, level 44, and we are 44. And it's actually pretty cheap, only 2 plat. So we will get that into the spell book. And I think what we're going to do today is actually head back down into Lower Guck. And we're going to do a little more exploring. I did run Crushdom down there. And I took a look around. And found very quickly that some of the Froglock shamans will actually cast See and Viz on the other guys in there, the other Froglocks and the other Minotaurs. That caused for quite a hectic time. Luckily, Crush has feigned death, so I was able to escape. But it was interesting. So I kind of scanned some of the hallways. The real problem is the area that we're going to just has a lot of roamers. So let me go ahead and clean this up. So 400 plat on that run. That's pretty amazing. So I'll just keep 50 on me. I don't know that I'll even need it for anything. We're getting a pretty good stockpile of plat over here across my characters. So here's the Ghoulbane. We got it ready to go. I'll have to run back here and grab it when I can finally meet up with Minesweeper. But we're ready to go on that, and that's awesome. So we may end up getting back into Innothule at some point. It's unfortunate that Greench can't wear the Rubicite armor, because that might be cool to chase the pieces of the Rubicite in there. But it's not for Beastlords, unfortunately. Wah, wah. But that's alright. We've got plenty of things to chase after. But for the moment, I'm going to resupply on some food and water. Let's see. And I will scribe my new spell. And we'll head out. So let me do that real quick, and we will head back on our way to Guck. All right, so we got inventory cleaned up. We got our new spell scribed, and I ran back down into Lower Guck, where we have been for quite a while now. We camped out a few levels here. Figure we'll start from here. I'll show you the area that I've been doing the last couple of levels at, a little further forward, but we haven't really explored there on camera yet, so we'll go over there. It's where I pointed out that there's a safe hall previously when we were talking. So I will head over there, and we'll kind of use that as our base of operations to start exploring out into some other areas. Before we get going, though, I have to show this. So this is probably just general knowledge and everybody knows it, and I'm so late to the game on it. But when it comes to shrink, I learned that I've been using shrink once on myself and once on Max. Turns out if you're a large race, like a troll, an ogre, barbarian, you can actually use shrink on yourself twice, which I thought was super cool. And you get tiny. Look how big. I wish I could ride. Max could be my mountain, and we could ride around. I could ride on an alligator. The problem with this is, like, I'm shorter than this little bump in the floor here, and if I'm running away from everybody, I have to really be able to make that jump. So if I'm too loaded down, I can't actually get up those stairs, which is funny. So that's super cool. I can make myself tiny. But what kills me, I hope you guys love this, and if you already know this, great for you. I'm so glad you've known this all along. I did not. So I can also shrink Max. And, he gets a little closer to my level, or closer to my size. If I shrink him again, now we'll both be shrunk twice, and we should be, like, proportionally... this is pretty good. He's actually kind of smaller than me proportionally. And so I heard this isn't true of, like, the bear that you get for ogres and stuff, but with this model for my pet, I can actually shrink him a third time. And he's so tiny. I mean, he's as big as my double shrunk leg. A minute ago, you could see that I could have ridden on him because he was so huge. Now I've got this little tiny lizard running around with me, and I think it's freaking hilarious when I see Max running around. Look how small he is. He's got the big targeting circle on him, but without that, he almost disappears. It freaking kills me. I hope you guys enjoy that as much as I enjoy that. And when we're fighting, you'll see it's so funny. This little tiny lizard right chasing after everything. So Max, just as powerful as he ever was, but triple shrunk. He is a little tiny lizard. All right, so let me get us buffed up, and then we'll clear our way. We're just going to kill this guy and then jump off into the water and swim around. Before I kept trying to go into this hallway and go around, but there's so much traffic there with roamers that almost every time we got chased out. I'm really good at making this run out of Lower Guck to save my life. So we're not going to go that way. We're going to go down, swim up down the water, and there's a kind of intermediate spot where I can station and clear things, and then there's a little safe hallway where you can just camp out. Now everything's starting to get green and light. Everything's light blue already, but it's starting to get green over there. So we are going to have to move deeper into the dungeon and find another spot. And I'm not sure what that spot is yet. So we'll have to figure that out. Because right now, the Minotaur maze here is so busy that I'm almost tempted to say that with all the roamers that are in it, we may not actually be in a position to camp that area. We have to maybe go past it to somewhere, or maybe go back around and look at the dead side entrance and figure out what we can do with those spiders or those skeletons that I was worried about. So we'll face that as we need to. Alternatively, we do have the option. We can go back to the Temple of Khazak-Thul. We could go into like the pyramid area maybe and just grind out in there for a while. There's a lot of room for runners if you are smart about how you do it. And I think those would still be good experience. And we can do some of that to continue to level up, because if we get a few levels, especially if we get all the way to like 49 and we get another pet upgrade, we can just mow through a lot of the stuff that's in our way. And if we get 2 or 3 at a time, it won't be a problem. So yeah, let me get us buffed up and we'll go from there. All right, so we're all buffed up. I had started talking and clearing and realized that my mic was muted, so I kind of ran back here to show where we were going. So this is where we were, kind of in the entryway. I fought that guy that was on the corner here. So we're going to go where he was and just jump off into the water and swim up to the next room. Kind of hug the right-hand wall because there's some guys on the left. And we were using this, I'm using this as a starter spot. So you can just see the guys that I killed here. So what I was doing, look how tiny Max is. So what I was doing was having putting Max on guard right here, and just this is the highway of people that are doing this circle, right? Like going around here, and they're just constantly running by. So we have minotaurs, we have frogs. It's busy. So what I've been doing is using this as a launch pad to kind of clear out a couple of the roamers and then clear out this platform over here. Now these guys have all been light blue up until now, and now that I'm 44, they're starting to be green. So really not going to be worth camping for experience at this point, but maybe still a good kind of starter point for exploring a little bit. And that corner's safe, except for there's one guy that comes around this circle that likes to wander over into that corner. So if we need to use that, we could as well. Now this hallway, just past this guy here, it's marked safe hall, and you can just sit in there. Nothing will ever roam that way, and if you sit in the middle of it, you'll be safe to meditate or whatever. So that's where I've been experiencing up right now. So I've been pulling this room. I've been pulling wanderers, especially minotaurs that come by because they're still light blue and worth good experience. There's a room behind on the other side at Safe Hall. I've been pulling from there. So I've just been using that. And if you pull them to the right point in the hallway, you can get them to run away, either back out into this room or into the room behind them. Now the problem is with runners here, especially now that they're turning green, they're going to run sooner, is that we could end up picking up like so much stuff as the runners go. But I think our goal is just going to be to try to like pare down a little bit what's here in this hallway. I'm actually going to pull this guy back because he may have a good run distance. I found if I go to about right here, they will always run back out that way, which is perfect. So what I want to do is try to get ahead of the spawn a little bit and start working my way down that hallway. And I think if I pull a few of them into here to fight, that might be a way to do it. Now, having said that, because Project Quarm has the sped up spawn rate, it's real difficult to get ahead of them. But the goal is to start pulling this, get down this way. I don't know that it's even feasible. Our run out of here, if things go poorly, our run out of here starts to get real long as we get into these hallways. But we don't have any kind of invis, and we're kind of reliant on being able to kill everything on our way. You know, and then of course the big weakness of the Beastlord is no snare. So I actually meant to look at this. So yeah, Greench's warder, bite, and kick. So I'm going to give him these weapons after this, and we'll get a little more damage out of him. I haven't been paying much attention to that throughout the most leveling process. I kind of throw weapons at him here and there. But I think it is a significant damage loss if I don't give him some kind of weapons to dual wield. I am not super up to speed on all the math and theory there, but I will give him a couple of things. Hopefully that helps. It costs me nothing, and hopefully it helps. So this is one of the roamer guys that kind of comes and hangs out. And I'm hoping that with level 44, with spiritual light to help with mana regen a little bit, we'll be able to kind of get a little further ahead of the spawn. But we're going to find out. So the other thing I saw that's kind of nearby, if you start to be able to get through these hallways and towards the Evil Eye, we've got a couple other names. So we have the Froglock Noble. And I'm not sure what that guy drops, but I'll look it up during the next fight. No, I went too far this way. So during the next fight, I'll look up what the Froglock Noble does. So it's these Erd Shaman, not this guy, but there's Erd Shamans here, and those are the guys that cast See and Viz. And we're making it quite interesting with Crushdom to come through here, because I kind of rely on invisibility just to get around and scout things out. It's always gone really well, because Crushdom has the crown that lets him just instant invis. Even straight out of Feign Death, I can like stand up and instant invis. And plus he has Invis Undead as a spell. And it's super helpful for just exploring things. Having said that, I'm also now one level higher than Crushdom, so at some point I might need to get Crush out there and get back on the leveling track and get ahead a little bit. So we've killed a few things. I think my plan is going to be to get ahead of this spawn behind us and then just try to start working down the hallway. So Froglock Noble, let's see what that guy drops. White gold necklace, which is all. It is a charisma and resistances. That's kind of cool. Some shoulders, AC 3, strength 5, agility 9, spell haste, but it's for caster types. You know, and a bunch of other random stuff, mesh and various words, etc., etc. Fine steel. So the white gold necklace might be interesting. What do we currently have for a neck? Oh. Gonna pull this guy so we can clear him off the battlefield. Kind of using this platform, even though they are eventually going to respawn. But you can see already another Shin Warrior came around. I'm tempted to leave like the green ones up so that if I get a runner and it runs into another guy, hopefully it's a green one. I'm also going to reuse the policy here when I start going down this hallway that, you know, running early is a smart move. So if we start to get into a little bit of trouble, I'm gonna run for the zone line and reset and try it again. So that was the Noble. Who else we got? This is Froglock Young Priest. All right, we picked up a friend here. I'm gonna bring Max. Let's back all the way up here in case this room respawns on us. But there's just so many guys. I don't know how I get ahead of the spawn. In the end, it might just be that we sit here and keep leveling. And that would be okay too, but I think it's cool to have a goal to work towards, so hopefully we can start to figure out how to make our way down that hallway. So anyway, I was going to look at what neck I have compared to that Charisma one. I have AC 5 and some saves. So it looked like the Charisma one doesn't have, from the Noble, doesn't have AC on it. So overall, we're probably better off just hanging on to the one we have. So maybe no reason to go after the Noble. The next one I saw was the Young Priest. Looks like silver-plated leggings are the common drop, which aren't for Beastlords, but would be cool if they were. And then the Amethyst Bracer would work for us. It's AC 5, hit points 15, and wisdom 3. And what do we have? We have the Woven Grass on both, looks like. Okay, so it would probably be an upgrade to this. At least more AC. Yeah, maybe worth getting. I'm not actually picking up the fine steel weapons currently because, although maybe I should grab 2 just to have them on hand to give to Max. I'm going to try to keep my weight down so that, I don't know why I just did a circle. I'm going to try to keep my weight down a little bit so if I have to run out of here, I have maximum speed available to me. I heard some Froglock footsteps. Let's see. All right, let's zoom out. Let's make sure we know where we are. So we're coming up to that intersection where I've had a lot of trouble. Because it's on both pathways here, it gets real busy. I'll just get in here with Max and see if I can help knock this guy down fast enough. Because we have another one behind us who's coming. And it's a shaman, and we have Minotaur. All right, we're gonna see if we can win this. Oh, and we have another Minotaur. And that's gonna be it, my friends. We're going for the zone line. Sorry, Max. I'm going to need you to be the hero that we all know you to be. Why am I climbing the ladder so slow? That was so weird. Oh god, I'm too small. This is why I don't want to get my weight up too high. If I'm going to shrink all the way down like this, I can't actually make it out of here. Okay, we're going to make the zone line. We will reset back to that area. So that was my fear. As soon as we started into that hallway, it just gets so crazy. There's just so many things. Like, we were sitting in that room for a while waiting, and we didn't get any Minotaurs coming by. And then suddenly there's 2 Minotaurs and a Shaman. And it's like, It's just wild. It's just wild. So maybe we have to sit there a little longer and make sure that we get a couple of Minotaurs down for the roamers before we do that. All right, let me reset everything and we'll go after it again. We are set back up and going to give this another try. It's actually been a while since we had to do that reset. I had to log out for a while, come back in. In that time, I had a chance to actually do a little bit of research on what we might want to chase after. And I'm really thinking the Evil Eye is where I want to head. So again, if we look at the map, to make that happen, we've got to get past this this spot right here where we just had to run from again, this crossroads, all the way around to here, to the Evil Eye room, which I don't have a label on, that's why I don't see it, but there it is, the Evil Eye room. Now, alternately, if we come up here, we could try to get down this hallway. So the pit with the Minotaur Elder in it is probably not where we want to be. There's just that one ladder in and out of there, and that's going to be pretty rough. Might be something to think about in the future, but we could potentially, from where we are now, this might be the faster or more direct route. And it makes me wonder how many pathers there are on kind of this long passageway here that comes around to the Evil Eye. So I'll have to make a decision here which way to go. Now, another option that kind of came up when I was looking, let me put Max on guard back here so he kind of stays back. Another option that came up that might be a way to go, and I hadn't really thought about this yet. I've been trying to be pretty self-sufficient overall. Obviously, we could get a group and we could go somewhere. Certainly, I'm completely open to that. I'm not opposed. That's why I didn't make this guy solo self-found or anything like that to begin with. Although, to be honest, there's a little bit inside. I a little bit feel upset that I didn't make him solo self-found, because then I could have gotten a title if I made it all the way, and I could have had Swamp Monster. Greench the Swamp Monster as my title. But that's okay. We can live without it. I do have space for a surname though. I haven't decided what to do with the surname yet. I haven't sat down and really put a ton of thought into it, but we could, at any point I could put a surname up there. Something to think about and sort out. So the other thing that is an option, besides grouping, is that I know there's a vendor in Grobb, so here in our swamp, that sells potions, that sells the cloudy potions in particular that are of interest. So we could get cloudy potions, some invisibility, and try to use it to get past a lot of this craziness that is happening in these hallways and try to get ourselves over to the Evil Eye room, which is a little more stable of a room to be in. Easier to hold, and we could kind of use that as a base of operations. Now, the problem with the Evil Eye, of course, is it puts us in a there's not really a zone nearby kind of situation. And we'd have to kind of learn that area. But it's also, I think, just a much safer room in general. So I could go back to Grobb. I could grab a cloudy potion or a bunch of cloudy potions. I think they're like 10 plat each or 9 plat each or something. So I could grab a bunch anyway, have them on hand, and give it a shot. So I'll think about that. I think first we'll just give this another try, pushing through on our own. And in fact, since we've had so many problems with that crossroads right over here, trying to go this way, because we were kind of trying to head towards the Patriarch last time, I'm actually kind of tempted to try this way. Because it's really a cross kind of, this section changes like you're going above this path and then just coming out and then down this hallway. Now, when I ran over here with... I think when I ran over here with Crush'em, there were like 2 guys in this hallway and stuff like that. So it's something we'll have to figure out. And I know there were guys over there that could see invis. So I don't know how helpful that's going to be with the potion. But for now, I could just start clearing that way and see what happens. Because as long as I run early, as long as I choose to run early, if things start to go sideways, I can get out of the zone. Resurrect max and keep going, right? So getting out of the zone, saving myself, not losing the experience, that's not too big of a deal. I mean, we're already almost 20% into 44, just kind of attempting these runs down these hallways, so. But I'm thinking, let's try to push down the hallway again. See if we can come across a spot where there's no or fewer roamers, where it's not just a highway of guys like this spot right here. That would be excellent. I don't mind fighting, but the fact that we just get, 50 guys over here every time. So this would be kind of going down this hallway and over, or going back up out the other end of our safe hall here and coming down that way. I'm not sure it makes a difference, although I do see a lot of traffic on this route, so it might make a difference. I get max on follow. We can start looking. So actually, why don't we keep max back here in the safe hall? And I'll run out there and pull back to max and see if I can clear some of that hallway, and we can move up. See if we can get ahead of it. I don't know if that guy that I just saw up there is a roamer. I don't know if he's a patrol or if he's just static up there. What I have to be careful with is I don't want other roamers to come down right as I'm about to pull something from up here. So there's a Shin Knight here. Let's get this guy. There may be two here. We'll find out real fast. I'm going to back max into the hallway with me. All right, just the one. We're going to be kind of mana conservative here, because we're going to be coming up on a rebuff here anyway. Get set up for that. Try to get a little ahead on mana, or not get ahead, but just kind of try to stay above 50%. That way if we get two guys, we've got a few heals in us for max. We can get the slows out there. We'll try to push that pace. I do have my Spiritual Light going, so my mana regen rate is up a little bit. It's no enchanter buff, but, it's pretty damn good. It's beast crack. So I won't go out and pull again until we're back at 50% mana. Maybe I'll try to hit a buff on each of these during each of these fights. So it's not too bad. We're getting a pretty decent jump in mana each tick. So we're back over 50. Ooh, let's get that guy. If we can clear out some of the pathers, that's good for us too. Just thin them out a little bit. Oop, smack. Let's see, Max has his Spirit of Scorpion. He's got his other buffs, so he's good. He doesn't have the quickening, but I'm going to hold off on that unless I start to kind of catch up on mana a little bit. For now, I'm still going to have to rebuff Turtle Skin and Spirit of Monkey, and then shortly after that, Spirit of Ox. So we'll give Turtle Skin another minute or two. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I'm ahead of Crush'em now. Crush'em's 43. He's almost 44. And that's the first time that's happened. The only other character that I have that's higher than Crush'em is my Bard, who, for whatever reason, I just screamed all the way up to 60 with him. I didn't do any, I did very little kiting, unless I was trying to kill some named mob, or a few times in some places my group got in trouble, and I was able to just round up everything and just, just swarm kite them. But I did the whole run grouping. More of the party Bard. I think I've said that in like many videos, but I prefer that play style. And then I kind of fell off on the Bard, so he's just kind of level 60, just sitting there. But other than that, Crush'em's always been kind of my go back to guy. Done a lot with Crush'em. Did all the Dark Forge armor, mostly solo. Some of that was pretty adventurous, trying to get You know, I was like level 30 and I was in the Minotaur Cave in Steam Font, and that was messy. I was in my 30s in Innothule trying to camp out all the various pieces, and I've actually pulled it off. I've had that whole set of Darkforged since the late 30s. And I might have mentioned this in another video earlier too, but my first video that I ever put on YouTube was the Choosing an Alt series, the first video. And in the introduction to that series, I'm actually running around on Crushdom while I'm talking, just kind of as something to watch. And he is level 31 at that point, and that was in 2024. So we're not quite at the 2-year point, but it's almost been 2 years, and he's gone from 31 all the way up to 43. So that tells you how fast I'm leveling Crush. But he has a lot of, like I said, he has a lot of really good stuff. And I don't have any limitations on him as far as, you know, is he self-found? Does he only stay in the swamp? Is he any of these things? Crush him, just play wherever. So a lot of times I just jump in when I see someone online that I know that is around the same level and we can do something for a little while. But also he's at that like magical level right now with Lukelin. Not Lucelin. That he can do the Echo Caverns TM camp, the Taskmaster camp, and that is just ridiculous experience. And he's a tank, so it's pretty easy to get in that group if I want to. So I might have to jump him in there and just get a few levels just to stay caught up or ahead of Greench. Hard to call Crushed my main when he's lower level than my guy who is stuck in the swamp. Not stuck. He chooses to be in the swamp. It's his home. He's the swamp monster. The terror of Guck. Terror of upper Guck. Lower Guck has so far put a hurt on me a few times, but I think we'll get there. Eventually we'll be able to go everywhere in here and they'll all be afraid. Granted, we might have to be well into the 50s before that happens, but hey, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. So I did just kill these and then they respawned, which means the one out there is going to respawn. So I don't know that we're actually going to be able to get ahead of all of this. But we'll give it a go here for a little while. If nothing else, these are light blues, although we know they can be green, so they are given experience currently. So it does work our way, working us toward 45, which is a hell level, which should be interesting to get through. It's a tough one too. It's a tough one. But honestly, it's so much fun playing Greench and just figuring this stuff out and like trying to plan around the challenge and making dumb decisions and getting myself killed or running for the zone that at this point it just goes by fast. A little bit of a grind here or there, but doing a couple levels between each video just keeps it all moving forward. It's real nice. I have been considering doing a solo self-found run. I know it's a thing a lot of people have done on YouTube. It's not just because to put out videos, but also because it'd just be interesting. I have never tried that challenge. I don't know about solo self-found hardcore, but solo self-found would be interesting. Thinking about it a lot, but there's a lot of other things going on. I've got Everquest Legends beta, which has been a blast. That game is more fun than it has any right to be. Very excited as soon as everybody gets to play. I think July is the release date. So looking forward to that. Still playing Monsters and Memories. I'm sure at some point I'm going to get caught up in Agilent Online as soon as it's more accessible. And I don't know where I'm going to get all this time. I'm going to have to retire from my day job and just play video games for a couple of years. A lot of good things that are pique my interest coming. I'll try to keep up with some of them. Okay. Oh. So there was the one guy we pulled, and it looks like there's two more right around that corner. So that's a tough corner right there. Now, luckily, one of them is green, so this should go pretty well. Get them both slowed. There we go. Let's see. Let's get max on that guy. Make sure Max has all his buffs. He's still good. And did I hit him with turtle skin? I know I got myself. Yeah, I got him. Let's see. Nexus Spirit of Monkey is already flashing out. So the one thing is, since we did kill the other guy up there quite a while ago, we've kind of split up. I don't know if there's 3 there or one of them is a Pat that was just hanging out. That's the other possibility. But since we killed the other guy up there quite a while ago, then we've kind of split up this pool a little bit. It's not 3 at once. It's going to be, 1 and then 2. And I can kind of use this as an opportunity. It looks like if I can, so that's right here, which means this is the ramp going over. So that the next is to explore across this ramp and then kind of try to get up to this long hallway that goes down to the Evil Eye. I think we're going to want to back up a little bit. Well, my fear is this guy's going to run the other way and go down the hallway and start pulling those guys. If we get too far backed up in this hallway, they'll actually run the other way instead of running back out to what we've already cleared. Okay, we're good. And that's caused me some problems, especially with the Minotaurs. Because they take longer to kill. They're just harder to kill. And they'll run out in that hallway, or they'll run into that room back there and pull everything. And again, I'm just, even though they're green, and I know they're not giving me anything, I'm just going to try to keep up with clearing. Just keep everything cleared as much as possible. So if I see it, I'm going to try to clear it. Now, obviously, we saw like 2 Minotaurs earlier, and they were both right next to each other, so I couldn't actually pull one, but this would be the plan. All right, let's give this hallway another look. That guy might have respawned up here at this point. Yeah. Not surprised. Oh, and we got a roamer. Okay. All right, this is going to end up putting us a little bit low on mana, I think. I hit the wrong thing. I wanted to slow. Well, we got to get max on this guy. I can't take these hits. All right, now let's get the slows out there. Got them, both slowed. I am going to throw a couple of heals on me. It is pretty intense on my mana for not that great of healing. But I need to keep myself high enough up on my own health that if things get bad, I have enough health to make the run out of the zone. I'm going to switch sides over to here. So what I don't want is to end up low on health. Max is low on health. I've got to break away, make for the zone, and I just can't take, the 20 hits in my back I'm gonna have to take to get there. So I'm gonna I'll expend the mana if I have to keep my health high. We're playing a little bit safe here, not because I'm not afraid to take chances. You guys if you've watched the series at all, you know that I will do some of the dumbest things or get some craziness where I'm just like, let's just go for it. But I want to move forward further into lower Guck. I feel like at 44, I shouldn't be so limited in where I can go. But it's the Beastlord is strong. Like I can kill, give me something equal level. I can slow it. Max can tank it. We can heal. I mean, we've got a great package of things for just getting out here and adventuring. Now, for dungeon diving specifically, we have 2 major weaknesses. One, we don't have any way, I've mentioned this 1,000 times, but we don't have any way to root or... I did not mean to... I started looting that while I was talking and didn't even look. We don't have any way to root or snare, which is just... It's ridiculous how much that matters in dungeons. So you always have to plan around having this, 1,000 meters ahead of you, 1,000, 10 football fields in American units. But, all this space ahead of you for the mobs to run. So you could hit them in the back to try to kill them. And then you have to plan around. If they're green, they're going to run sooner and everything else. There's just no way to stop them from doing it. Whereas, like, if I bring Crush them in here with a Shadow Knight, I would kill far slower. Maybe not. Crush has some good gear, but I'd probably kill slower. I don't have any way to slow them, so I just have to tank the damage and lifesteal and stuff to mitigate it. But I would be so much safer. And I don't just mean because Crush has instant ways to invis and feign death. Obviously, those make it super safe, but just snaring alone is such a huge thing. And then having no invisibility or a way to like sneak around, stealth or something or anything like that is also a crazy limitation when you're just dungeon diving. So it's interesting just how strong the Beastlord feels to me as a character, as an independent solo character. Yet there are very glaring limitations. Now, I'm certain there are things we could get to work around those limitations, and maybe I'll see what's possible, but when you combine it with the limitation of only being in the swamps, even though we've kind of opened that up to include the Firot and Innothule, I don't think there's going to be a ton of options open to us for snaring. I might be wrong. There might be an item here that I'm just overlooking or not thinking of, but I think in general, we're going to be in a tough situation as far as that goes. All right, we're coming up on needing Spirit of Ox, so we will... Actually, I'll go pull one more time. Well, we got to clear this guy anyway. So we'll kill this guy, we'll Spirit of Ox, and then see if we can get back out there and continue pulling the dungeon a little bit. All right, we got Spirit of Ox back up, buffed on both of us. Max still has the Spirit of Scorpion, and we're about 65% mana, so we are ready to push out there and clear a little more. I'm going to guess we're going to have to clear those guys back at the top of that ramp, though. So I'm really starting to think if we want to move out of this area right here, if we want to push forward, if we want to get to the Evil Eye or something like that, the Cloudy Potion at the vendor really might be an option to consider. Now, what I should probably do is a little bit of research. Are there other items that can give us invisibility for a Beastlord? And I will explore those while we're fighting. So I'm doing a little bit of searching on the side over here to see if there's anything that can help me out. All right, had a bit of a microphone issue there. I had to fix it up. Hopefully everything sounds okay now. If not, I'll find out later and be missing a huge section of video. Yeah, I'm looking up some items to see if there's anything that can give us snare or invis effects. Not finding anything offhand, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, there's always a way. There's always a way. And at worst here, the way is finding group mates, right? Reaching out to people and saying, hey, I really want to camp some of this stuff. Can you guys come invis me out to wherever we're camping or whatever, something like that. So we can get there. What's interesting is I was trying to figure out before. So if we come in on the dead side, where we've come in before, right? We come across that water. We hit those spiders. So if we can get to the safe hall, the layers are kind of messing me up here because if you look at this hallway going past the Minotaur Elder and follow it down, there's a ladder here, which I assume goes to the gray hallway that's beneath. Let me double check, make sure I'm not going to lose Max here. Minotaurs take a lot longer to die. My Venom Breath wore off, but I'm going to throw another one on him because when he starts running, I want him to tick down faster. My mana regen it feels a lot faster. I know the Spiritual Light only adds like 3 to mana regen, but it is significant. I can feel like I look away doing something and I look back and I'm like, whoa, I gained a ton of mana. So it is significant. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of figure out how these things kind of match up. Although no matter what I see, just kind of looking around here. No matter what, I think the Evil Eye is going to be a good room to work from. We know it's decently safe. I'm pretty sure you can sit over in the edge of that and just like be completely safe. I'll double check that when I get in there. But we can come down and work in this area. I think it'd be a really cool place to be. But again, we have to get there. So we're just barely keeping up with our own spawns here for now. And if we can't get there now, and we can't get a group, and the invis potions don't work, well, then we'll just out-level it. We'll outlast it. Push on up to 49. Get Max a little upgrade. Tear it up in here. Heck, at 49, we probably just run past most of these guys. They don't even care. We can head over into the dead side and start trying to pick up some of that loot. Get ourselves another different bag over there from the supplier. Get that bag. We can get the Dark Elf mask, the guys. And the big thing is start making our way towards the Ghoul Lord and Froglock King. So we're going to need... It's the Froglock Lord or Froglock King. I always forget. But we need those blades, right? That's the quest. That's the meta quest. Sometimes when it takes him this long to kill something, I think Max must have lost. Yeah, he lost his Spirit of Scorpion. While he's finishing that... Oh, see? I'm going to go out and look for something else to pull. Well, let's get a Minotaur. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there was another guy over here, and I thought this guy was going to run, pull that guy, plus the Minotaur I just pulled. Let's pull this Minotaur back into our hallway. I see Max needs a heal. I'll get on that in a second. Let's get Max caught back up a little bit here. In fact, let's hit him with a quickening. Let's hit him with a quickening. So Spiritual Light rebuff is coming. That's my mana regen, and that is a significant amount of mana. I think it's 200. I don't know what the actual cost is to cast it. I know I was at 100 or something mana, and it said you don't have enough. We need to back up even a little bit more. Kind of there is good. The guy respawned in that room, so when this Minotaur runs, he's definitely going to pull that guy. I'm 20-something% mana. We'll try to get a couple ticks back here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is costing me 200 mana, so I was right. Like right now, if I cast it, it'd be basically what I have left, so be about 20% of my mana. Just over 1,000, so 200 to 20%, just under 20%. All right, that went well. Oops, wrong spell. We'll go ahead and get this guy. Then it's just mana up a little bit again. So we're having a great grind session. We're up to almost 30% through the level. This is maybe what it comes down to. We're going to give this a little bit longer, trying to push through. But I really think if I can't push through, then I'll make the run back to Grobb. I will grab some invisibility potions, and we're going to see how that goes. And then once we get parked in, if we can get in the Evil Eye room and just kind of get established in there, then we can camp out of there for a long time. I'm not too worried about running out to sell or anything. We'll grab loot, but it's going to be about the experience and getting the Evil Eye loot, and then coming down here and looking at the Crusader or the Priest. Right, we have those options. Up here we've got the Noble, which I think the Noble didn't really have anything we wanted, but then going, I don't know. I think this would be a good spot to camp out a couple of levels. All right, so some things have happened. I kept working on trying to get ahead of the spawn here and clear out the area for a while. I got myself up to about 58% maybe through level 44. And then I started trying to push a little bit to see if I could get further down the hallway and got overwhelmed. Tried to run for it and I died. So I used that as an opportunity, since I was back at Grobb, to grab some money. I bought a backpack, and I filled it with cloudy potions. So it ended up being 12 platinum each. So not a cheap endeavor here, but I think it will maybe help us move forward. Hey everyone, editing Sigil here. So I lost audio on this next section. You'll hear me talk a little bit later about having some tech issues today. So instead, I'm just going to put a little boss music danger track over top of this run that I'm about to do, and then we'll check back in. All right, guys, we are back. So I had talked about using the invis potions, and then I logged out to do something, logged back in, hit record, and was talking about making the run. So I invised up, started making the run, had it recording, and then realized about halfway through the run that my mic wasn't picking up. I looked down, it wasn't muted. It just wasn't picking up in OBS at all. So I almost considered turning around and running back, but actually the run was going so well, I just finished the run. So you should have just seen that video of me making the run. I don't know if I'll put music to it or if I'm going to talk over it, or maybe I'll just do a quick little, editing sigil in there and say something. But so we made it. So we are over here now by the Evil Eye. And then just now I logged in, was looking around at what I wanted to do, was kind of checking out the map. The Evil Eye was up. This monk ran by and asked me if I wanted to kill the evil eye, so we killed it, and of course I wasn't recording. So we killed it, and I got a bag of Sown Evil Eye on the first kill. So we've already got this new bag. So it's a lower item, so we can only get one, but it's 70% weight reduction, capacity large, size 8. So now in our set of bags here, we have the bag of Sown Evil Eye. And I'll swap it over into here so we can put some heavier things into that one. That'll help out. We also picked up the Mana Rock and the Evil Eye Stalk. I don't know what the Evil Eye Stalk is for. That's one of those I'll have to look up. It does sell, so we could just sell it. And we got a Mana Rock, but it doesn't work for Beastlord, so not going to be useful to us as a Beastlord. That's all right. Let me make this a little bit bigger. But yeah. Not good for Beastlord, but we got it. I don't feel too bad about missing that. We are probably going to kill this guy several times. He's actually worth experience for us, so we will actually be hanging out in this area. I don't plan on leaving for a while because it's quite the ordeal to get back out of here. I would almost imagine that getting out of here is going to be a death sentence for me. So my goal is just to get my body as far as I can on the way out so I can so I can pick it back up when I come back from Grobb. But we're gonna do a couple levels here, so it might be a lot easier to get out than I think. There's a chance that with what we can reach from here, hopefully I had just resupplied on food, so we won't have to go out for food and water for a while, which is good. And then I plan on just making the most of being in this little area here because it feels fairly safe. There looks like there's some guys down there. Let me see what's going on down there. So there's a Shin Knight there. Nothing around that corner right now. I don't think anything pats this way. Well, there's that guy. I don't think they come all the way through. I think they just go to the middle and then go back. But I definitely can be wrong. Where the heck am I? All right. So that guy might come this way, but... And this is bringing us where? Okay, back... Or this takes us down into that other area where I was talking about we might be able to do some camping. And I don't know what comes from this way either, so... We will learn this place as we go. We'll start with this guy. Yeah, this is the plan. This is new home for a while. At some point, we'll have to go back out and get to the bank so we can get meet up with Minesweeper with Ghoulbane. But until that happens, this is where we're going to live for now. Evil Eye's already back up, so we'll get that. We'll get onto that next. I don't actually know how hard the Evil Eye is for us because when I just fought him just now, there was that monk was with me, and I'm pretty sure he was pretty high level. He kind of just ran in and tore it up and then ran off. So I think he's just making his rounds in here, killing the name stuff. So that's pretty cool. So we might see others that come through. Maybe end up grouping up or something. Okay, so that guy that was here was a pather also because he's not there anymore. Yeah, let's get this Evil Eye. Let's give this a shot. I'd like to say that we can earn that bag on our own. Don't get me wrong, I'm not turning it down. I legit grouped with that guy, and I did my part. Oh, he mad. Get him, Max. And just double check Max's buffs. He's good. That thing is nasty. One of the more unique, like, models in Everquest, though. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're coming up on needing some rebuffs and such too, and that's fine. Sound's doing some funky stuff in here right now. Or it's my headset, one of the two. Oh, yeah, my headset just went out, so I'll need a second to fix that after this. I've been wondering about it. It's been, I think I mentioned a few videos ago that I could hear some haze, like, buzzing in my headset. And I was wondering if it was dying, and it just made, like, a weird, nice little electronic noise and stopped working. So I'll see if I can fix it. Apparently, this is the day to have computer issues. Right? Like, my mic stopped working for a few minutes, which I think was more of a computer issue than mic issue, but... And now this. Alright, no problem. We took out the Evil Eye ourselves. There is another bag and another mana rock. So if we had not gotten them previously, we would have earned them ourselves just now. And I have Hide Corpse on, but I don't think I can loot either one of those items. I think they're both lore. Legacy item, locks out 30 days because I just looted it. So yeah. All right, so we'll just let that corpse disappear. I will get some rebuffs going, and actually, I think what we'll probably do is we'll call it here for this video. Might be a little bit overall, a little bit shorter of a video. Oh, there's a Minotaur that comes close too. But we'll call it here for this video. I'll sort out my tech issues over here, and I'll get set up to do some more recording. I'll get this edited and get it out so you can see that we actually made some progress with Greench and made it further into Lower Guck. And we've got a new camp area set up here where we're going to hang out for a couple levels. This guy is light blue. The other guy we fought was light blue. The Evil Eye is light blue. So we've got some stuff we can kill. And then we'll pick it up there in the next one. I'm pretty excited. I've been stuck since like level 39 or something at that entrance we came in, and I've made quite a bit of progress just over in that area. But being deeper in here, it's pretty cool. And now we're here by the Evil Eye. We're not too far away from the Crusader and the Priest and the, you know, these a couple other named that we can go to. Even further down here, there's an herbalist. I don't even know what these guys drop, but we'll be looking them up for sure. Oh. Okay, so I think maybe I'm wrong about the padding through here, but I thought there was one side of this room you could sit on that nothing padded up to. But I'll figure it out. I will figure out where the best place to sit is. It might just be up these stairs a little bit where the eye can't see me, but no one else can see me. What we're looking for is just a safe place to be able to meditate and, you know, just have a chill camp or where we can just rotate through the mobs as they come, kill the Evil Eye, grab everything that comes to the doorways, and go from there. So we'll pick that up next time. Hey everyone, Sigil here. Hopefully you're enjoying the continuing adventures of Greench and Max as we make our way into the Evil Eye's lair. If you want to see more, make sure you hit those YouTube buttons so you'll be updated next time a new one comes out. And I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Controllers in hand on the right track. We're streaming dreams, making worlds collide. 1,000 voices cheering worldwide.